Hi everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today, I'd like to show you how to make the red and white Queen doll music box, the White Chess Queen edition. It consists of two main parts, the main part and accessories. Let's start with the main part first. After it's completed, we will make and attach the corresponding accessories. The main part is divided into the hem, the body, the hands and the head. Let's start with making the hands first. After completing them, proceed to make the other parts in sequence. During the process of making the body, you will need to attach the hands. Here, the hands are divided into three sections, the main part, the sleeves, and the pattern area. Start by crocheting the main body. Then pick up the corresponding position to crochet the sleeves. Finally, crochet and complete the patterns. To make it more convenient for everyone to see clearly, I'll use thicker yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn details, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. The cast-on method is magic ring. This means the casting on technique is an adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand and wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. The hook moves between these 2 points. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Draw the yarn through. There is 1 loop on the hook. Crochet 1 more chain to secure it. Yarn over. Pull it through the loop. 1 chain is completed. Slightly tighten. The magic ring is now done. Next, crochet the first round. R1 is 6x. The number before X indicates how many single crochets you need to make. This means you work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Start with 1 beginning chain. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This is the turning chain for single crochet. The turning chain is not marked in the chart. In reality, when crocheting in rounds, you need to work a turning chain at the start of each round. And remember, the turning chain does not count as a stitch. Then, start working the single crochets. Insert into the magic ring. Place the hook above the yarn. Yarn over. Draw through. Now there are 2 loops on your hook. Place the hook in front of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw through the 2 loops on hook. That's 1x stitch single crochet completed. The 2 strands forming a V-shape at the top are the stitches of a single crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 single crochet. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert your hook. Place it above the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Keep the hook in front of the yarn. Counterclockwise wrap. And draw through in once on both loops on your hook. The second single crochet is completed. You need to work 6 stitches for this round. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting downward. Before drawing the yarn through, always place the hook above the yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The stitch pattern corresponding to the table is now completed. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. First, gently pull the starting tail. You'll see 1 loop moving. Tighten the moving loop. There will be 1 loop left. Then directly tighten the starting tail. The loop is now closed. Next, slip stitch into the first single crochet of the first round to finish. That is, at the second chain, on the left side of the yarn tail. It's this big braid. If you really can't tell, you can also count back from the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still this braid. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook. Complete the slip stitch. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch. You need to tighten it. The slip stitch is not indicated in the form. In reality, when crocheting in rounds, you always finish by joining with a slip stitch and pull tight. This completes the first round. Move on to the second round. Our 2 is 6x. This means crocheting single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. There will be a total of 6 stitches. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. I want to emphasize again, at the start of each round, you need to work a turning chain. I won't repeat this for every step moving forward. In the first stitch of the previous round, work 1 single crochet. As you crochet, make sure to keep the yarn tail of the cast on tight. Place it above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. Crochet 1 stitch to another with single crochets. After completing, remember to check the stitch count. Crochet evenly without adding or subtracting stitches here. The fabric will naturally curl. Adjust the fabric so that the right side faces out. That is, the side with a more distinct texture. Then join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Be mindful of this. There will be 2 small braids between the first stitch and the last stitch. These are the slip stitch from the previous round and the beginning chain of this round. Skip these 2 braids and start crocheting on the first stitch. Yarn over, hook the yarn out, and draw through all loops on the hook once. Complete the slip stitch. Pull tight. And you can cut off the extra yarn tail from the beginning chain directly. The second round is now complete. Continue with the third round. First, work 5 single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. Then make 1 single crochet, followed by DC 3 in 1, that is, in one position. Make 3 single crochets. One, 2, 3. The DC 3 in 1 is now finished. Then join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Pull tight. And the third round is complete. Move on to the fourth round. Work single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. The method is the same as the second round. It just has a different number of stitches. I won't go into detail here. Complete this round completely. After completing, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. And pull tight. That completes the fourth round. Now move on to the fifth round. First, work 4 single crochets evenly. Then work 2 single crochet decreases. Start with the first stitch. Let's take a look first. At the 2 strands of yarn in the stitch. The strand closer to the right side is called the front loop. The other strand is the back loop. First, insert your hook into the front loop of the next stitch. Then insert it into the front loop of the left stitch. There will be 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops left. Yarn over again, and draw through in once. Single crochet decrease completed. This method of picking up the front loops only to work a decrease stitch is called an invisible decrease. When you use this technique for crocheting, the gaps between stitches are relatively small. The fabric comes out more delicate overall. Work another single crochet decrease below. Insert your hook through the front loops of the next 2 adjacent stitches on the left side. Yarn over. Then pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this twice. Once. Twice. The single crochet decrease is completed. Finish with a slip stitch. Tighten the yarn. That completes the 5th round. Here, I'll use this sample to teach you a way to count rounds. Take a look at the fabric. On the right side, each raised texture represents 1 round. Count upwards from the bottom. The sample now has a total of 5 rounds crocheted, from the 6th to the 15th round. Work even for 6 single crochets. This means starting from the 6th round, crochet 1 single crochet into each stitch. Every round consists of 6 single crochets. Continue until the end of the 15th round. The method is simple. I won't demonstrate it here. Remember to make a beginning chain at the start when crocheting. Finish with a slip stitch and pull tight. After completion, proceed to crochet round 16. This round requires a color change. First, fasten off the previous color. Start with 1 chain to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn. Cut. Pull tight. That completes the fastening off. Next, pick up the color you need to switch to. My sample uses random colors. Make a slip knit with the yarn. Then insert the hook into the spot where the yarn was fastened off. Pick up the first stitch of the round. This is where the slip stitch was inserted previously. Draw the loop through. Adjust slightly. Mind that the knot doesn't show on the right side. Chain 1 as your beginning chain. Make 1 single crochet in the corresponding stitch. Be sure to place the yarn tail above the hook. Hide it as you work. Continue downward with this color. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch. Complete this round entirely. Join with a slip stitch when finished. Pull tight. You can cut off the remaining yarn tail. This completes the 16th round. Now work on round 17. You'll be working into the back loop of the stitches. Start with 1 chain. Then pick up from below. Work adjacent single crochets into the back loop of each stitch. The stitches may not be very clear here. They might be a bit tricky to pick up. Be mindful not to pick up in the wrong position. You can use a needle to loosen the stitches if needed. Work a single crochet increase here. The increase means making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. One, 2. Single crochet increase completed. Continue moving backward. Pick up the back loop of each stitch. Work corresponding single crochet increases. That is, work 2 single crochets into each stitch. finish crocheting the remaining part. Join with a slip stitch when done. Tighten the yarn. Round 17 completed. Move on to round 18. When there are no special markings afterward, simply pick up stitches and crochet. This round's chart is XV*6. The parentheses here indicate a group. Asterisk number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. First, make 1 single crochet. Then, work 1 single crochet increase. That's how you finish XV. Let me demonstrate it one more time. First, make 1 single crochet. Then, work 1 single crochet increase. This is the second time. You need to repeat this pattern 6 times for this round. For the remaining 4 times, follow the method of 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase. Finally, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That completes round 18. For rounds 19 and 20 below, work even in single crochet for these 2 rounds. The technique is simple. You can finish these 2 rounds on your own. After completing them, continue with round 21. First, make 1 single crochet. Then, work 1 single crochet decrease. That's how you finish XV. I'll demonstrate it one more time. First, make 1 single crochet. Then, work 1 single crochet decrease. This is the second time. Continue crocheting using the same method as before. After finishing, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That completes round 21. Continue with round 22 below. Work even in single crochet. You can complete this round on your own. After finishing, start the stuffing process. Grab the stuffing material. First, fluff it up. Then, stuff it into the larger area. That is, the area where the color change occurs. The bottom area does not need stuffing. Control the amount as you see fit. Too much stuffing will make the fabric stiff. Too little and it won't hold its shape. After finishing, work the last round downward. You'll need to make single crochet decreases. The method has been demonstrated before, so I won't demonstrate it here. After completing, fasten off the yarn. First, crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a little yarn tail. Break the yarn. Pull tight. Tuck the yarn tail into the fabric. That concludes the main part of the hand. Next, we'll crochet the sleeve. Along the other direction of the main body, pick up the corresponding position and start crocheting. In the table, CH stands for chain. We also use 2 new stitches here, F double crochet and FV double crochet increase. Please watch as I demonstrate. Here, I'll continue demonstrating with this sample swatch. First, rotate the main piece of the hand. Position it so that the opening is facing down. Then find the remaining half of the 16th round stitches. That is, the front loop. Insert the hook from below, picking up the horizontal bar next to the slip stitch mark. Pick up the corresponding yarn. Here, I'm using random colors. Join the yarn. First, make a slip knot. Place it onto the hook. Pull through. Adjust slightly. Pay attention that the knot should not be exposed. Then make 3 beginning chains as the starting point. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. In the same position, work 1 double crochet, yarn over once. Insert. Remember to even ends. Then yarn over using the X-stitch single crochet method. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Then wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pull through the first 2 loops. Now there are 2 loops left on the hook. Continue wrapping the yarn counterclockwise. Pull through once. 1 double crochet is complete. Pick the front loop of the next stitch on the left. Work 1 double crochet increase. This increase means making 2 double crochets in one position. Yarn over once. Insert the hook upwards into the front loop. Yarn over and draw through. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this 2 times. First time. Second time. The double crochet is done. Work another double crochet. This completes the double crochet increase. Continue downwards. Pick up the front loops only. Correspondingly make double crochet increases. Finish crocheting the remaining part. Complete the last stitch position. Everyone, please check. Include the turning chain. There are 12 double crochets here in total. Move down to the third chain from the turning chain. Count upwards from the bottom here. Insert the hook under both loops of this chain. Crochet a slip stitch. Then tighten it. Proceed to fasten off the yarn. If there's any excess yarn at the beginning, you can cut it off. Hide the final yarn tail on the wrong side of the fabric. You can weave in the ends for a few stitches more. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the sleeve. Next, we'll make the pattern. First, crochet a circle of gold, edging around the sleeve edge. I will continue to demonstrate with a swatch. Place the right side of the sleeve facing you. That's the side where the stitch pattern looks neat and tidy. Similarly, have the open side of the main piece facing down. Locate the position of the beginning chain. Insert the hook into the hole where the slip stitch was previously inserted. Join the yarn. Then make one beginning chain. Correspondingly, work one single crochet. Remember to weave in the tail. Next, pick the adjacent stitch of the double crochet on the left. Work one single crochet. Pick the insertion point below this double crochet. Work one single crochet. Don't pull the yarn too tight here. Keep it about the same height as the neighboring single crochet. And make sure it's positioned in front of the double crochet. I consider 3 single crochets as one group. Continue working another group below. First, pick up the adjacent stitch. Correspondingly, make 2 single crochets. Then slip below. To the insertion point of this increase, work one single crochet. That completes one group. Next, repeat this process. Continue crocheting for 4 groups. After completing, join with a slip stitch on the first stitch. No need to pull tight. Break the yarn. Hide the yarn tail in the wrong side of the fabric. The method is simple, so I won't demonstrate it. This completes one round of gold edging. Continue downward using the gold thread. Embroider on the protruding area at the top. First, take a length of about 1 meter of yarn. Thread the needle. Then insert from any stitch of the last round. Insert the needle from inside to outside here. Pull the yarn through. Leave a little yarn tail. Then find the insertion position for the double crochet increase at the bottom. Go through the stitch hole of the single crochet increase from round 17. Come out from the top stitch. Pay attention that the thread should be in the gap between 2 stitches here. And it should be relatively straight. Pass the needle through these 2 points again. Combine the 2 threads. This way, you'll embroider 2 line segments. Go out from the adjacent stitch on the left side below. At the bottom, insert in the adjacent double crochet increase. Corresponding to the chain space of round 17. Then sew between the top stitch and the bottom hole. Create 2 lines between these 2 points. There are 3 single crochets apart between these lines here. Continue downward. Sew between the top stitch and the corresponding hole of round 17 at the bottom. Create 2 line segments between these 2 points. There are 3 single crochets between these segments. After completion, thread the yarn to the inside. Tie a few knots at the beginning and ending to secure it. Trim the remaining ends shorter. Then tuck them inside. This way, the line segments are embroidered. Finally, use gold yarn. Wrap around this indented part 5 to 6 times. Place the beginning and ending on the side of the sleeve with the standing stitches. Lastly, tie a double knot to secure it. Trim the remaining yarn ends shorter. Then crochet them into the fabric. This completes the pattern section. At this point, the entire process for making one hand has been explained. Use the same method to make the other hand. Next, crochet the body. Start with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise outward. While crocheting, you will need to connect the hands and change colors. No new stitch techniques are used. Please watch as I demonstrate. First, cast on and crochet rounds 1 through 43. The methods and stitches used here have all been explained and demonstrated before in the hand position sections. Everyone can refer to the previous demonstrations. Follow the chart. Complete the first 43 rounds. When crocheting, every round requires a turning chain and a slip stitch. Pay attention after finishing the 11th round. You need to fit it well with the music box. Here, the music box has a base and a box body. We can assemble them first. Align the nuts on the base with the screws on the box body. Twist to secure in place. Here, let's compare the dimensions with the top of the box body. If the dimensions differ significantly, then you need to adjust your tension and crochet again. For the following parts, you can crochet according to the previous tension. After crocheting a few more rounds from here down, you need to place the acrylic board on top of the base piece. Note that it should be placed on the inner side. The right side faces out. During the subsequent crocheting process, stuff as you go. Make sure to stuff evenly. Be mindful not to make it too bulky. Keep the bottom flat. The top should be about the same width as the flat bottom. That concludes the explanation for rounds 1 through 43. After completion, crochet round 44. This round requires connecting the hands. Begin by inserting a shaping wire into the body first. Pick up the shaping wire. Fit it to check the height first. Start from the bottom edge and go upwards. Here, leave an extra 7/8 centimeters compared to the top of the body. Then fold it twice according to this dimension. Creating 3 strands like this. Trim off the excess shaping wire. Next, twist the 3 strands together slightly to secure them. Then insert it into the center of the body. If it's difficult to insert, you can use a crochet hook or your fingers to push the stuffing towards the sides first. Make sure to insert it all the way down. Now the shaping wire is attached. You can continue stuffing to fill in any gaps above the fabric. Next, we'll start crocheting. Pick up where the previous yarn tail left off. Correspondingly, make 5 single crochets. Then pick up one of the hands. Here, I'll demonstrate using this small sample. Place it on the left side. Position the protruding side of the hand underneath towards the body. Then pick up the stitch on the body that corresponds to the hand's position. And also pick up the adjacent stitch on the left side of the body. Now you've inserted your hook into two positions at once. Then work one single crochet. Continue picking up stitches from the body. Correspondingly, make 10 single crochets. Next, pick up the other hand. Similarly, position the side with the protrusion towards the body. Then pick up one stitch corresponding to the hand, and one stitch corresponding to the body at the same time. Work one single crochet. Continue picking up stitches from the body area. Correspondingly, work single crochets. Finally, join with a slip stitch. Tighten. Now the connection of the hands is completed. Next, you need to change colors. Then fasten off the yarn. This completes round 44. Next, let's work on round 45. Before starting, you need to insert the shaping wire at the hand position. Pick up the remaining shaping wire. Insert it between the shaping wires on the body. Then fit well and check the length between the two hands. Fold the excess part inward. If your remaining shaping wire is long, you can bend about 5 centimeters. Then cut off the remaining part. Then insert it into both hands. This completes the installation of the shaping wire for the arms. Continue crocheting from here on. First, join the yarn at the previous break point. The method is the same as the color change at the hand position. I won't go into details about this. Then make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Next, work 15 single crochets evenly. Start with 5 single crochets. After completing, move down to the connection point between the body and the hand. First, pick up the single crochet from the previous connection. Crochet 1 single crochet. Then pick up the remaining stitches on the hand. Work 5 single crochets evenly into these stitches. After completing, move down to the body section. Start from the adjacent single crochet, work 4 single crochets correspondingly. At this point, you will have completed 15 stitches in total. Next, crochet 1 single crochet decrease. After completing, continue working single crochets correspondingly. When you reach the position of the connected single crochet, skip it first. Move down to the position on the hand. Work 5 single crochets correspondingly. After completing, pick up the position of the connected single crochet and work a single crochet. Then continue working single crochets correspondingly. Finally, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 45th round. Continue crocheting. The stitch techniques used below have all been demonstrated before, so I won't demonstrate further here. Refer to the chart. Finish crocheting the remaining part. You still need to stuff as you go. After completing the 48th round, no more stuffing is needed. After finishing the final round, if there's any excess shaping wire, you can cut it off. Then close up the opening. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Break the yarn. Pull the yarn out. Tighten it. Then thread the yarn into a sewing needle. Pick up the front loops of the last round stitches from left to right. Finally, pull the yarn tight. Then weave in the ends. You can weave in a few more times for extra security. Trim the remaining strands. That concludes the explanation of the body section. Next, we will crochet the hem. Crochet in rounds along the bottom edge of the body. There's no need to change colors. Please watch me demonstrate. First, crochet the first round. Pick up the yarn in the same color as the body. Locate the bottom edge of the body. You can see horizontal lines here. These are the half stitches remaining from the previous rounds. First, find the position with the slip stitch marks. Pick up the strand next to it, and insert the hook from bottom to top. Then join the yarn. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet correspondingly. Next, pick the horizontal bars moving left. Work single crochets evenly. After completing, check the stitch count. Finally, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That's it, the first round is now complete. The following rounds are worked in rounds with even single crochets. As you work, make sure to check the fit against your music box. Just ensure that this area can cover the body of the box. It's a pretty simple method, so I won't demonstrate it further. Since the ending position of the last round requires edging, I'll demonstrate the technique using a sample swatch moving forward. The number of rounds on the sample doesn't matter for reference. After completing the last round of slip stitches, don't pull tight. Then stretch the loop. Leave a little yarn tail. Break the yarn. Count 2 chains to the left from the yarn tail position. Insert the hook from the back of this chain. Pull through the reserved yarn. Then insert the hook again from the back into the chain of the slip stitch. That is, the chain below the yarn. Pick up the upper half stitch. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Adjust slightly. Finally, hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. That concludes the explanation of the hem section. Next, let's learn the crocheting method for the head. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds. Similarly, while crocheting, don't forget the beginning chain and slip stitch. Pay attention to stuffing after completing the 20th round. Make sure it's evenly and firmly stuffed. Then move on to crocheting the remaining parts. After completion, there's no need to leave a yarn tail. Just fasten off the yarn normally. Finally, stuff the protruding part into the head. You can use a crochet hook to help. Ensure that this section can fit into the body. If it doesn't fit well, you can use the crochet hook handle or a pair of chopsticks from your home to make the opening larger. That concludes the explanation for the head. Up to this point, the main part's construction has been fully explained. Next, we will create and attach accessories, including facial features, hair, crown, and necklace. The body decorations and hem decorations are included. First, we will create the facial features. Start by outlining the eye sockets. This is on the front of the 13th round of the head. Place the side with the slip stitch marks at the back. The two eye socket positions are about 6 single crochets apart. You can mark the positions with pins. This spot is exactly between the previous 2 increased stitches. Then pick up the working yarn from the head. Here, I'll demonstrate using a different color. Cut a long yarn tail, thread it into a sewing needle. Then insert it from any position at the back of the head. Bring the yarn to the marked position on the front. Start by leaving a little yarn tail. Then insert it into the adjacent position. Exit from the corresponding position on the left side. Insert again into the adjacent position. Bring the yarn close to the starting yarn tail. Then pull tight both yarn tails. You can take a look at whether the gaps on either side of the eye socket are about the same. If there's any deviation, you can rethread and adjust the eye socket. Finally, tie a double knot with the 2 yarn tails. Hide the yarn tails inside the fabric. You can weave in a few more stitches if needed. Hide the other yarn tail in the same way. I won't demonstrate that part. This way, the eye socket is set properly. Next, stick the eyes onto the eye socket position. Apply glue to the wrong side of the eyes. Place it at the center of the eye socket. Here, the eyes take up about 3 rounds vertically. The 2 eyes are spaced 4 stitches apart. That's how you attach the eyes. Below that, embroider eyebrows above the eyes. Pick up the black yarn first. Cut a long piece of yarn tail, then extract 1 strand. Insert the thin needle. Then locate the 2 rounds above the eyes. At a position spanning 3 to 4 stitches. Sew a horizontal line. The eyebrow width is about the same as the eye width. Start by inserting the needle from any position. Begin with leaving a little yarn tail. Pay attention to keeping the 2 eyebrows symmetrical. Finally, bring the yarn to the side of the starting yarn tail. Tie off the beginning and ending tails to secure. Hide the remaining yarn tails inside the fabric. You can weave in a few more stitches if needed. Do the same for the other yarn tail to hide it as well. Finally, use glue. Slightly fasten the middle of the line segment upwards. This will create an arc. Don't apply too much glue. You can use a sewing needle to help. That's how you embroider the eyebrows. Next, sew the nose onto the circle below the eyes. Pick up the yarn that matches the color of the head. Then find the 2 stitches right in the center of the eyes. Locate the corresponding 2 stitches below them. In the middle of these 2 stitches, insert the hook and pull through twice. Start by inserting from any position first. Bring the thread to the corresponding position. Leave a little yarn tail. Then bring the yarn back to the starting tail position. Tie off the yarn tail. You can hide the yarn tails and knot inside the fabric. I won't demonstrate this part. That's how you embroider the nose. Next, skip 1 round from the nose. In the next round, locate the 2 stitches that correspond to the nose position. Embroider the mouth there. Pick up the red cotton yarn. I'll demonstrate using another color. Cut a long piece of yarn, then pull out 1 strand. Insert the yarn into a thin needle. I already have it prepared here. Then insert the needle from any position. Stitch through the gaps on either side of the corresponding 2 stitches. Begin by leaving a little yarn tail. Then bring the thread back to the starting tail. Tie the beginning and ending tails together to secure it, and hide the knot inside the fabric. I won't demonstrate this part. Similarly, use glue for the mouth. Secure it downward to form a smiling curve. The method is simple, so I won't demonstrate it. This completes the mouth embroidery. Finally, apply blush to the area just below, and slightly to the side of the eyes. Next, let's make the ears. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet along the ring. The new stitch used here is the T-half double crochet. Here, S represents slip stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Use yarn in the same color as the one for the head to crochet. Start with a magic ring. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet into the magic ring loop. Crochet 1 half double crochet, yarn over once. Insert into the magic ring loop. Follow the yarn over method for the X stitch single crochet, yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, pull through all loops on the hook in one go. 1 half double crochet is now complete. Then, crochet another half double crochet, yarn over. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. The half double crochet is complete. Now, make 1 single crochet. Then, work 1 slip stitch into the large space of the starting chain. No need to tighten it. Finally, work 1 chain to secure. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Tighten it. Close the magic ring slightly. This completes one ear. We will consider the side with the clear braids as the right side. You can crochet the other ear using the same method. After completion, attach the ears to the head. Thread the longer yarn tail into a darning needle. Mind that the right side of the ear should face forward. Then place it between the round below the eyes and the next round. Here, the ear covers 2 rounds. It is also 3 single crochets away from the outer corner of the eye. Position it carefully. Start sewing. Tie the 2 yarn tails together and secure with a knot. Hide the excess tails inside the fabric. I won't demonstrate this part. If you want the ear to be more secure, you can apply glue at the bottom. I'll skip demonstrating that here. Following the same method, sew the other ear symmetrically. That concludes the ear section. At the same time, this concludes the entire facial features section.